Here is a story about the youngest soldier to ever enter World War I from the United States. Later, he became the voice of the Lone Ranger. Listen to the rest of the story to find out who this man was and how he became the youngest soldier in World War I from the United States and the voice of the Lone Ranger. This story is about Brace Bell Beemer. He was born at his home on Cherry Street in Mount Carmel, Illinois on December 9, 1902 to Joseph D. Beemer and Bertina Bell Beemer. His father was a grocer and his mother was a stay-at-home mom. But he spent, even though he was born in Mount Carmel, Illinois, he spent most of his years in Vincennes, Indiana and went to school there where he attended Lincoln High School. He got in a fist fight with one of his teachers and got kicked out of school, and he convinced his father to let him join the military. He was only 14 years of age. He lied about his age to the recruiter, was able to get into the military and also into the war. He served with Battery E, 150 Field Artillery, and was wounded in action in France on May 27, 1918. He was said to have been the youngest sergeant in that war. It was also said that he was wounded 3 or 4 times and was the youngest soldier to ever receive a Purple Heart. Many sympathetic citizens attended the meeting at Indianapolis Wednesday between the Battery E boys and their relatives at the family reception at Military Park concerning one of these residents, which is of special local interest. The Indianapolis News prints the following: Mother, my boy, the strain was too great after so many months of waiting and worrying, and to Miss J.D. Beemer, 116 East 6th Street, Connersville, held forth her arms to embrace her homecoming at Military Park. She fainted. The boy, Brace Beemer, 15 years old, member of Battery E, dropped by the side of his mother and caressed her and called to her, and presently she opened her eyes. It is you, isn't it, my boy? She said. And then, as the daughter, Catherine, held her mother's head and soothed her, son and mother talked. They talked only of home and family, but all around in a circle, a sympathetic throng watched, and occasionally a sob was heard, and not a few turned aside to wipe away the tears. And all the time, down on his knees, little colored boy watched as best he could past shoe tops, and as he watched, he grinned. It was a grin of satisfaction. Brace Beemer was 15 years old and a student at Vincennes when he enlisted in Battery E. He did not tell the recruiter officer his actual age, for he was determined to go to France. He was gassed at Chateau Thierry. Brace Beemer was an American radio actor and announcer at radio station WXYZ in Detroit, Michigan. Beemer was 6 foot 3 inches tall and was an expert horse rider. He served as the deep-voiced announcer for the Lone Ranger soon after its first broadcast in 1933. Beemer also appeared as the Ranger in public appearances because station owner George Trindle felt that Earl Grasser, the actor who played the part on the radio, did not look right for the part. Brace Beemer was the voice of the Lone Ranger as early as 1938 because Erskine Campbell worked for him at WXYZ in Detroit that year as a writer and sound effects man. Also ran a farm Beemer owned outside nearby Pontiac, Michigan. In 1941, Grasser was killed in a car accident and Beemer took over as the voice of the Lone Ranger from 1941 to the last new episode on September 3, 1954. During the 13 years that Beemer played the title character, he was required by contract to restrict his radio acting to that one row until the program left the air. The experienced and popular Western film actor Clayton Moore was chosen to take over the role for the television series. Although Beemer had the right voice and had made many public appearances as a Ranger, he had no experience as film actor, as he preferred live action to television. However, Beemer's voice as the character was so familiar that Moore imitated the sound in the earliest TV episodes. Beemer also portrayed Sergeant William Preston of the Yukon on Challenge of the Yukon for a brief time after the Lone Ranger series ended. He died in 1965 and was buried in Troy, Michigan. Going by the name of Justice Cowboy Coat, Beemer's son hosted cowboy films for children on local television in Detroit in the late 50s. Beemer's later resided in Lake Orion in Oxford, Michigan. One of Beemer's last appearances was an interview with film actor Bill Kennedy on his At the Movies show on CKLW-TV9 from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Beemer died in 1965 and was buried in Troy, Michigan. At the time of his death, he was using the famous Lone Ranger voice on automobile commercials running on radio stations.